Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. I'm AndyRC and today I'm checking out the Walkera Aibao from gearbest.com. Now this is a quadcopter like no other. This, to my knowledge, is the first quadcopter that has implemented augmented reality. Now what is that? Well, basically this is a normal quadcopter with a camera up front. However, in the app, it combines the live video from the quadcopter's camera and puts it in a sort of simulator. So you're using real time and artificial reality at the same time. So for example, you're flying in real time, but you can go and say collect a coin or fly through virtual air gates or have a battle with other fake drones that are flying around you. So essentially it's a computer game based drone, which I didn't see coming, to be honest, but there you go, this is what we have now. It's kind of a two-in-one quadcopter because it does all that, and that is sort of its main selling point, is that it's a drone for playing games with, just like a PlayStation or Xbox, but it can also be used as an aerial platform, sort of. Now, before I go on and review this item, I just want to mention that it is in the very early stages of development. Now, you can buy it, however, I have definitely found some problems while trying to get this working, and I will talk about those in a bit. But before we get on to how it works, let's just check out what you get with the quadcopter, because it comes with quite a lot of stuff. Now, this is the quadcopter here. It's quite big, so I'm struggling to get it all in view. It's about a 280 sized quadcopter, and you can see we have the implemented camera at the front there. We have got what looks like 2204 to 2205 motors, so sort of like mini quad motors. It has got these self-locking propellers, so they go in the direction opposite of the motor and then lock into place. And we have got these legs here which seem quite long, but actually there's quite a lot of stuff going on in here. We've got antennas and we've got a compass. So yes, this quadcopter pretty much flies itself, just like a DJI Phantom really. It really reminds me of one of those. So it has got a dual GPS system in it for extra safety and extra stability. We have got a micro SD card slot in the side there, and flip it underneath. It looks like some kind of sonar, however there's no actual noise that comes from it, so I don't know if it's optical or if it's just to let heat out. So we'll have to check how well the GPS hold is with this. So the camera up front is supposedly a 4K capable camera, and the idea is that you can record in 4K, 2.7K and 1080p, and again I'll get onto that a little bit later. So there's no real extra options for adding a gimbal. There is this sort of cover under here, but there's nothing there. It kind of looks like a HDMI slot and for something else, but at the moment there's nothing there. There's kind of some holes here as well, which suggests that maybe a gimbal will slide onto there in the future. I don't know. Now, it was called the Airbot. It says under here Airbot, but they have had to change the name, I guess. Maybe for legal reasons, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's a really nice design. It doesn't feel cheap, and it's not cheap. I think this is about £360, something like that. So it doesn't come with a micro SD card. Well, this one didn't. Anyway, you have to provide your own. So let's get on to the battery. It is a proprietary battery, and it's 7.6 volts. Now, it says in the manual that it is a LiPo battery. However, it's 7.6 volts. So I imagine either they have got this number wrong, or it's one of those high voltage lipos. However, 5,200 milliamps, it is a massive battery, and guess what? You're going to get a 20-minute flight time with this. In fact, I was finding about 18 minutes to 20 minutes, so that is really good for just a 2-cell battery for a quadcopter that is weighing about 600 grams in total, I believe. So, pretty impressive flight time with this. Now, the battery is proprietary, and it's got this on switch here, so you can actually keep it in the quadcopter, and it just sort of slots in there nicely like that, and it's not switched on, and it just pulls out like that. And then to charge it, there is this charger pad here, which is actually a balance port. So if I just grab the chargers, it comes with this really hefty charger, and the charger has got 2 leads with it. One is a balance connector, and then that just goes in there like that, and you've got a light underneath there. It's red when it's charging and green when fully charged, but you can also charge the transmitter at the same time off this, which is very reminiscent of the Phantom, which you can do, and I'll get onto the transmitter in a bit. But yeah, really nice, the charger. However, you can't really charge the batteries using any other charger, because like I say, that's the balance port of a 2-cell battery, which is the opposite mating to, say, a hobby grade charger. Just move that back out of the way. So you get a little spanner set and a Allen key. Well, there's a couple of Allen keys there for maintenance, I guess. And then we have got a USB connector, because why not? Everything comes in these little bags, by the way. They are such good quality, but they should be at this price. You get a set of props and a spare set of props in here. So we have got a micro USB slot on the side there. I think that's probably more for firmware updating. I haven't tried that, but I'll be just taking the micro SD card out and just viewing the files on the computer. Now the quadcopter has these holes cut into the body, which look like 3-leaf props, which I think is a nice touch, and all on the side here as well. That no doubt is to let the heat out. And the propeller direction is marked on the frame and on the propeller, so it's really easy to know which propeller goes where. So onto the transmitter, and if you were to squint your eyes, you would not know the difference between this and a Phantom 4 controller. We've got 2 antennas there, and this is the Walkera Devo F8E, and it's got various controls on it that we can use, and we have got this phone and tablet holder. So we've got 2 antennas here, and this is interesting because the FPV that this uses is digital. However, it does it through 5.8 gigahertz, and the control through 2.4 gigahertz, but both digital, so 2 separate feeds there. And I believe the range should be about 600 meters for both, which is pretty cool for digital FPV. I guess the one thing to watch out for is if you are flying with people who are doing analog FPV, then it might interfere. But I'll tell you, the quality of this is really good. The quality of the picture and the quality of the control range, but I will get onto that later. So this one charges down here. We have got a charge port there, and this has got a 3000 milliamp 2S battery in it, and this charges off this sort of DC connector of the charger. Takes a while to charge for both batteries actually. So let's look at the functions of the transmitter. We have got a video stop and start button. Now these do work, but it only seems to work when you are using the app for a drone, so the Walkera Drone app. It doesn't seem to work when you are using the AI app, or the augmented reality app. So that's a shame. It would have been nice to have a way to record the video whilst in that AR mode, but you can't, sadly. So I'll just move this up so we can see some of the other features. So that's the on button there. You just hold it down for a couple of seconds and it lights up here. With this Walkera aircraft, you switch the quadcopter on first and then this, and it gets a bind. So we have got a takeoff button there and a land button. However, you have to arm the quadcopter before you can take off, so I thought that was a bit of a pointless feature. The land feature, however, does work, and you can't seem to intercept it once it does land, so make sure you do actually want to land. We've got the return to home function there. Now all of these buttons are covered by the phone holder. I would have liked to have seen them lower down, honestly, but it's a small thing. Then on this side we have got gimbal return and gimbal pattern. Now those buttons don't do anything for this model, but I imagine that they do for other models. We've got a little joystick here. Now supposedly this is for controlling the camera, however I cannot see that this does anything in either of the apps that I'm going to show you. We have these various different functions here, so manual mode, which gives you full control of the aircraft apart from altitude, because obviously spring-loaded sticks. This one has got altitude hold as standard. And in order to go into manual mode, you have to have enough GPS satellites for it to work. So it won't let you fly it unless you've got enough satellites anyways. So we've got GPS, which is your GPS hold and altitude hold. And then we've got motion here, which is a higher rate. And then circle, which is like a circle function around the pilot, just very similar to the DJI Phantom. Now to go into these different modes, you have to press down on the button there. So if you just move it, it's not going to work. You have to press down on the button. So I am happy to say that the manufacturer has taken advantage of the spring-loaded sticks and given us the option to change into modes 1 to 4. And the way that you do that is you have to turn on the transmitter, and usually it will go into its bind sequence of the quadcopter, but I just need to wait until all of these lights go on solid. And then you hold down the gimbal pattern button for a few seconds, and these lights will light up. So 1 is mode 1, you press it again, and 2 is mode 2, green is mode 3, and the last one, green, is mode 4. Of course I want to be in mode 1, so I then hold that down for a couple more seconds until everything goes green, and I am in mode 1, which is fantastic. So a couple of other features. We have a neck strap there if you need one, and then of course we have the very sturdy phone holder, which allows you to either put a phone in or a tablet. So there's a button on the back that lifts that out and your phone can go onto it here, or you can lift it up fully and stick a big tablet in there, which is quite nice. Another thing that this transmitter has is a fan, so there must be a lot of processing going on in there. So there's a fan on the transmitter, but not a fan on the quadcopter. So let's talk about connectivity. So on the DJI Phantom, the way that it works is you have a USB cable that comes out the back of the transmitter, and that plugs into your tablet or phone, and basically that just turns your phone into a controller and video screen and nothing more. And this kind of works similar, except what happens is the transmitter gives off a Wi-Fi hotspot, and your tablet or phone connects to the Wi-Fi hotspot, thus getting rid of that cable, which I think is pretty good because your phone or tablet's not going to ever be far away from the transmitter for it to drop connection. However, I guess there is room for more latency with having another wireless device there. And again though, latency isn't usually too much of a problem with a GPS quad. However, if we're going to be doing augmented reality and racing, then I'll have to see how that works. Now, this system at the moment is not perfect at all. As you can see, I have got a Sony tablet on here which hasn't featured on the channel before, and that's because I usually use this, which is my Nexus 5 phone. Usually everything connects to this. I have used this for every review that I have done all year, but for some reason this does not pick up the Wi-Fi hotspot. Neither does my old Nexus 4 and another device that I have got as well, which is Android. However, this connects to it and my iPhone connects to it, so I guess that not all Wi-Fi is supported, which is a shame. Now, this is running Android 6, and this is running Android 6, so maybe it's a hardware thing, I don't know. But anyways, it works with this tablet just fine, so I'm going to be using this for the demonstration. So I have got the quadcopter bound to the transmitter, so I need to go into the settings here and connect to the hotspot that the quadcopter has made. So you can see there we've got airbot air and airbot ground. Now it doesn't say what the air is at all, but I'm guessing that's connecting to the quadcopter, but of course we want to connect to the ground here, or the transmitter. So if I select ground, and then hopefully that should connect. Now the password is 1234567890, and one thing that is disappointing about this is that there are two apps. One is called AibaoGo, I think. Let's just do a search for it. AibaoGo, right, and this is your virtual reality app. And then the other one is called Walkera Drone, and that one is only available on iOS. So you're only able to play the game with Android, and if you want to use it as a normal aerial photography platform, you're going to need iOS. And as far as I can tell, there's no future plans to have both of them on Android, which I think is a mistake because Android is a larger percentage of the market than Apple these days. Anyways, this is the AibaoGo app, and this is for the game side of it. So we've got some settings up the top here, and if we go to game, it seems that with Android you're not able to record anything. You see, your device does not support replay. Please upgrade your system to Android 5. Well, this is Android 6, so I'm not sure what that's about. We've got goggle mode, so that splits the screen in two if you're interested in that. So I need to come out of there because I'm just using it on a tablet. You can turn off your on-screen display and flight range. I guess that might be the zoom, is it? I don't know. Flight range doesn't really explain anything. Let's try that. So small, big. I guess that's limiting the range, but we want it as far as possible, don't we? So I'm going to leave that there. Remote settings, you can change the trim, etc. And the yaw, I don't know, it doesn't seem to do anything. What does custom do? It's back to that screen. So not many settings there. Don't want to exit. Let's close out there. So if you were able to record, then you could go into My Record, I guess, and find your recordings, but it won't let me do that, so I'll be using AZ Screen Recorder to record this. On iOS, you can record the screen, which I think is strange because usually you can't record anything in iOS. So yeah, it's really clunky. So we've got these different modes here. Free video mode. Just close out there. So that just lets you just fly around. So you've got no sort of racing or anything like that. You've got your home position, the fact that you've got GPS and your height and the battery voltage 8.15 volts, and then you've got sort of like a head-up display for your level there. So if I come out of there and click back, the next modes are like racing. So you're going to have a GPS connection for this, which I'm not going to have inside, so we'll take a look at that outside. But this one is air gates, and if you press play, then it's going to say wait for GPS. Let's go back, and you've got various different levels that you can go through. Collection is like collecting coins, and you're given like a map of where these coins are, and you go collect them, a bit like Pokemon Go. And then lastly is battle. Now this one looks the most interesting. You've got other sort of drones flying around, and you have to shoot them. So for me, so far, the biggest downfall is the app and connectivity. It won't connect to my phone. It will connect to my Android device. However, I can only use the game section in Android. If I want to use the game section and the aerial photography app, then I'm going to need iOS. And for me personally, I'd want everything in just one app. So you've got your game and your aerial photography in the same place. But let's go and check out the options that we've got on the iPhone. Okay, so let's go into the phone's Wi-Fi settings and find the ground. So Airbot ground, gonna click into that and it should connect to it. Okay, that says that it has connected, so I'm gonna go back to the home screen and open up the Walkera Drone app. Now you could see there that it said it was connected, however the picture was from a previous time, I think, so the phone should fit in there like that. And for a while I thought it wasn't working, but you have to wait a much longer time on the iPhone for the picture to start streaming. Don't know why, but it can take a few minutes. So there we go, after a lot of waiting around we have the image on there. So the first thing I'm interested in is the video recording. Now you've got this little panel down the side here that should allow you to take a photo, and then we've got a mode button down there, and that should then switch it to video. Now we've got a video button, and then I'm going to press the video button and it's starting to record. So that does seem to be working. So we have got a map down here, a Google map, and I guess if you press that, it's going to expand and it flips them around and stuff. And then we've got a takeoff button, which I imagine if I hit now won't work. Aircraft will take off, yeah, so I'm just going to cancel out of that. Then we've got the return home button there. Up here we've got the flight mode, so position hold, and if I move these around on the controller there, it says manual mode. Press enter to execute, so you have to move the mode and then press down on it. So you've got manual mode, and then that's GPS mode. Motion is a higher rate, and then circle is the circle feature. Again, you have to press the button down to enter that mode, and you can't enter manual mode until you've got the right number of satellites either, I believe. So what I'm interested in is to see if I can start and stop video recording from the button now. So that does seem to work. You have to have the app connected up to it for that to work, it seems. So I have stopped and started that. Seems to work fine. And I wonder what happens if you press the photo button. Does it flip to photo mode? No, so I guess you have to flip it to photo mode and then press the button. And I assume it takes photo. So let's go back over to that video mode and then go into the settings and see what options we've got. Now, we only seem to have the option for 2.7K and 4K. So it's loading and now it's doing 4K, so despite what it said in the instructions, I can't see a 1080p stabilized mode. What happens if we go into others, media? That just shows you what you have recorded, and all of a sudden it's gone to Chinese. So how do I get back? Oh, there we go. So partly in Chinese this is, so we can change the photo size and the stream frame rate. I guess that's the stream to the phone. So as far as I can see, no option for stability there. How do we get out of there? Let's go into the settings tab and see what we've got. Okay, we've got unit reference, metric, show airline, I'm not sure what that means. Offline map, show airline do, no idea. Clear airline, trajectory on the left, it will clear the, okay, it just, I guess it just moves the map away. Okay, offline map, so I guess, again, it's gone to Chinese. Oh, can you download like an offline map there? Let's go back. User guidance, device, what have we got? Waypoint height, circle radius, return to landing height, that's good. Very similar, sort of phantom controls there. RC, so you can change the stick mode from here. I've got it as mode 1, so I guess that it's taken that from the settings of the transmitter. Gimbal. Video location. Local or device. I wonder if that... I can't change that anyway. Custom, what does that do? I think this is for another aircraft, really. I was hoping that I could go in and check out those settings there. And battery, or you can show voltage, well we want that. And then your low power warnings, etc. That all seems fairly nice. A little bit buggy though. So, as far as I can see, it doesn't look like the video is stabilized at all. I mean, I'm shaking the quadcopter. The latency looks pretty good, but let's check out that. Definitely flyable with GPS, but from what I can see, there's no option for stabilized footage there. So I'm going to have to see what the video looks like on the SD card, if it's recorded anything to the SD card. And down here you've got all of your various telemetry, so your vertical speed, your height, distance, etc. GPS up here, signal strength up here, and then we have got the flight battery voltage, which is quite nice. So yeah, I have to say, I think the app is very clunky at the moment. It doesn't seem to have all the options that the manual says it does, but this is an early version, so hopefully they will come out with an app for Android so you can use all of the features that this app gives you on iOS. Other than that, really, you only want to get this thing if you have an iOS device. So let's see if we can get this thing flying. I have got it in the free video mode, which should just allow you to fly without having to do any of the AR stuff. So I'm gonna arm and then throttle up. Wow. Plenty of power there. So first of all, I'm just going to check out the GPS, see how well it holds. It's not an overly windy day today. It does seem to be coping fine. There is plenty of power and it's really fast. Well, I guess the idea is that you do race with it, so could this be the first racing drone with GPS? Oh, it did not like that. So maybe it doesn't like to be flown too fast. I think it upset the GPS there. So I need to make sure I keep enough height on for it to cater for that again. Yeah, if you move it too fast, it upsets the GPS, and the GPS kicks in to try and break it and stop it, but it's flying really well. The video feed is really good. You can see it correcting for itself there. So, what happens if I press the land button? Now that does seem to work. Can I override it? Seems not. Oh, it did a nice landing though, he says. It almost did a nice landing, but this grass is too long really, so to be fair to it. Let's see if I can clear some of the gunk off, and let's see if I can try that auto takeoff. That's not damaged, just a bit of grass. And the props have got dirt on them. Just clean that camera off best I can. Okay, so let's try the takeoff function and see if I need to arm it. So let's have it flatter. Just make sure that it's got a fighting chance. A load of dirt on the prop as well, and now on me. Let's try the takeoff button. Doesn't seem to do anything. Is that because it crashed? Now let's try it. Okay, so it does work, but you have to arm it first. Okay, so let's try return to home next. Just take it up high, return to home. Is that doing anything? Oh, yeah. Can you come out of that mode by double pressing it? Yes, you can. That's good to know. So let's try that again. See if it's gonna land where it took off from. It is doing, and really accurately, and it's landing at the point where it armed. So just come out of that mode. So let's try some of these race modes. I'm gonna go out to the field for that. Gives me plenty of space. This GPS holder is really good, so if I press pause on that mode, and then back, and then racing, what's this say? Past conditions, finish in 300 seconds, start racing, hit 4, light range recommend, game in 45 meters in an open area, and it seems like you have to unlock certain things, so here we go, touch start. Right, so, oh look at that. This is unusual. Air gates, but in virtual reality. It's gonna have me go into the tree. Just missing the tree. No, I can't go over there. There's a tree in the way. Okay, looks like I'm gonna need more space. Let's come back and try that again. But you know what? That was actually a lot of fun. I wonder if I start it more out in the middle. I need to be in the shade so that I can see the screen. So let's pause that. And again, what happened? Oh, there we go. Go. Right, forward we go. Hopefully, gonna miss the trees this time. I am really bad at this. This is so strange. Strange, but oddly fun. Did I miss that one? Is it saying I've missed it? I don't know. Ah! I don't know. Is it saying I've gone through that? I feel like I went through it. Yeah. Okay. I think it might be fairly easy for you to beat my time. This is the first guy I've ever had of it though. So be nice. Goal. It's got my battery level. Ah! Did I do it? What's that say? Restart. Next level. I could be here all day. Right, let's bring it back because it's gotten far away from that. No breakup on the video whatsoever. That is really good. Only problem is you have to watch that you're in a nice open area. So what's next level? This could get addictive. Touch the start. What now? Oh my goodness, what is that? I'm also flying mode 2 here, so not my native mode. What happens if you like crash or something? Oh, that's so weird. So actually, it's like you're in a simulator and flying for real at the same time. That is so bizarre, but I really like this. I reckon I could probably get pretty good at it. Whoa! Is that gonna... yeah, so you don't have to be too accurate. That's gonna take me into the tree again, I think. Which I don't want to do. Very close to the tree. I have to actually go through it. Too close to the trees. Why does the goal have to be so close to the tree? Okay, we did it. Come back, come back, come back. What's it saying? I missed one or something. Oh no, I'm not doing that. The field needs to be big. What happened? What's it saying I need to do? I must have missed one. I don't know. Let's come back. Bring it down. I think maybe there's another gate and it's just taking me higher or something. This field not big enough for it, sadly, so you need a big field for this. Okay, it's coming back. What's the battery doing? Just says 7.25 volts, so there's no sort of battery warning or anything like that. That is bizarrely and strangely fun. Okay, so what else have we got? If I have time, let's go back. And then back again. Collection. What we have to do here. 60 meters. Obtain collection. So it looks like this is going to be like Pokemon Go sort of thing. To go and collect things. So that's like coins, is it? Oh, I keep going for the throttle because I'm going to fly mode 1. Oh, I need to go lower. Can I go lower? Collecting coins. What? What? It's got Walkera written on it. This is actually quite clever, I have to say. And it's working pretty good. And collect the coins. I'm not doing a very good job of it. What's in the question mark? Wouldn't it be great if like you go into the question mark and it was like time limit? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of what it does. You got a time limit. Okay. I don't think I'm going to do very well on this. Let's try catch this one. Oh, it works so well. It works so well. Okay, let's bring it back. Let's try what the other ones are. Yeah, you need a fairly big field for this. This field has about a 80-meter radius, something like that, so it needs to be a bigger field. Okay, let's pause that and go back. And then what was the other one? Battle. Obtain score. Okay, play. So what's going to happen here? Let's see. Touch to start. Is that a gun? What on earth is that? What? This is brilliant. Okay, I think I found my favorite one. Oh, he shoots you too. Where are you? I got ya. Can I move the joystick? Nah, it does nothing. You know, this is so much fun. And the quadcopter is flying pretty nice. I'm not sure I would just give it to somebody to fly, and I think this is going to be the problem with this. I mean, look how close I got to those trees. And I've been flying for over 25 years, you know, and if you were just paying attention to what was on the screen and not where you're going, you could crash into something. This is my favorite one. You don't have to press anything to shoot them. Enemy. This is, I've never seen anything like this. Again, it's taking me close to the trees. Where actually is it? I can't stop smiling though. I can't. Actually, did I get them all? Yeah, I think I did. Look, next level. Does it just get harder or something? Touch the start. Whoa! I imagine you have to have a pretty fast tablet or phone to do this. It's a lot of fun on the tablet because the screen is nice and big. Feels like a computer game. I think on a phone may not be as fun unless you've got like a phablet or a big phone. No, I'm not going into the trees. Okay, I think that's enough of that. Oh my god, I can see me getting addicted to this, which of course is what they want, really. One thing that I like though is the flight time's really good, and it does give you a lot of time to play a game, I guess. Kinda wish I had a spare battery now. Okay, let's close out of that. Back. And back. Yeah, so back to free video mode. So I'm using AZ screen recorder here to record this because there is an option to record the video. However, it doesn't seem to work on this particular tablet. It says Android version 5 or greater needed. Oh, we've got a buzzer going low power, and it says low power on the screen. So let's just see what happens. I've just realized when you turn the rudder, it applies aileron. Look, it's applying aileron. Maybe that's just the GPS correcting, I don't know. What's it doing? I've got, oh, there we go. But do I need to land it, or is it going to land itself? What's it going to do? It says low power, just like a video game or something. 6.97 volts. That's actually pretty high, you know. When I've had a, oh, it looks like it's returning to home. When I've had a 2-cell quadcopter in the past, it usually can fly to about 6.6, something like that. I don't have any controls. Okay, it's landing itself. Low power. So it did land itself once its battery started getting low. However, I did notice that like I was putting control inputs in and nothing was happening there. I don't know if that was the return to home taking over. It probably was, but I have to say, pleasantly surprised, that was a lot of fun. So I'm going to have to wait for another day to test out the Walkera Drone app with the iPhone. Good weather and light is sparse at the moment, and in my opinion the aerial photo app just isn't ready either. The AR app, however, is a lot of fun and I'm going to be trying it again. So there you go, that is my review of the Walkera Aibao. Thanks to GearBest for sending it in for review. I'll put a link in the description if you wish to buy it. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.